can make a show.
Let's go. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. Surprising people with moments that let them know I was really thinking of them.
What?
That's what you want. You want that shape and texture. Come on. This is about connecting with friends. I love that we're doing this together for the first time. Making new friends. That is so good.
We're family now.
Meghan Markle's Netflix show With Love. Meghan was supposed to be her grand Hollywood comeback, a fresh chapter after years of royal drama and media scrutiny. It was marketed as a heartfelt, romantic dramedy reflecting her personal growth and modern womanhood. Netflix had high hopes. The world was watching, but instead of applause, With Love, Meghan crashed and burned spectacularly. Critics slammed it mercilessly, viewers tuned out in droves, and the show ended up among Netflix's lowest-rated originals ever. The kind of flop that makes you wonder, what really went wrong, and why is Meghan so quick to blame everyone but herself? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the disaster behind With Love. Meghan, the brutal reviews, the public and industry backlash, the toxic behind-the-scenes drama, the costly legal nightmare, and even the infamous fake tears. Controversy that turned a moment of vulnerability into a full-blown PR crisis. This isn't just a failed show, it's a Hollywood meltdown of epic proportions, and the fallout could change everything for Meghan Markle's career. When Netflix announced With Love, Meghan, the excitement was real. This wasn't just any show. It was Meghan Markle's passion project. She was executive producer, star, and heavily involved in the creative process. The show promised an authentic, relatable story about love, identity, and empowerment, with Meghan's own experiences woven into the narrative. It was meant to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. But from episode 1, something felt off. Critics called the show painfully scripted, awkwardly acted, and utterly lacking in authenticity. Ironically, the exact opposite of what it promised. The romantic plotlines felt forced, the characters shallow, and the emotional moments came across as staged rather than heartfelt. Review after review, the consensus was clear. With Love, Meghan was a flop, a hollow vehicle for Meghan's own self-promotion rather than a genuine piece of storytelling. Viewers quickly lost interest. Social media buzz shifted from anticipation to disappointment and mockery. Hashtags like #TwiOnWithLoveFail trended as fans and critics alike aired their frustrations. Despite this, Netflix doubled down. The streaming giant, hoping Meghan's star power would pull in subscribers, greenlit 2 entire seasons before the first even finished airing. But the gamble didn't pay off. Ratings kept dropping, and the backlash only grew louder. Why did Netflix persist? Industry insiders speculate it was a mix of contractual obligations, a desire to support high-profile talent, and a bet on long-term potential. But the reality was brutal. With Love, Meghan dragged down Netflix's reputation for quality, original programming, and the platform's subscribers weren't having it. The fallout didn't stop with bad reviews. As the show tanked, the public perception of Meghan Markle shifted drastically. Hollywood insiders, once quietly supportive or neutral, started speaking out behind the scenes. Whispers of Meghan's toxic behavior, demanding attitude, and lack of professionalism spread like wildfire. Some producers described her as a nightmare to work with, complaining about last-minute script changes and on-set diva demands. Critics and journalists labeled her a grifter, someone more interested in fame, influence, and cash than genuine artistic contribution. For a figure who once commanded sympathy and admiration as the modern Duchess, this was a dramatic fall from grace. The glamour and mystique gave way to cold indifference, if not outright hostility. Social media was unforgiving. Fans who had once defended her turned away, feeling betrayed by what they perceived as insincerity. The narrative quickly evolved. Meghan was no longer a trailblazing humanitarian or role model. She was a cautionary tale of Hollywood's dark side, a name associated with failure, controversy, and bad business. Netflix found itself caught in the crossfire. The streaming giant's decision to back Meghan and the show drew criticism from shareholders and industry watchers who questioned their judgment. Netflix's stock dipped slightly, and competitors seized on the opportunity to highlight their own more successful programming. Just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, they did. Meghan Markle's Archwell Foundation, which promotes wellness and self-care, became the focus of a staggering lawsuit. A woman filed a $10 million claim alleging severe chemical burns and injuries caused by a DIY bath salt recipe promoted by Archwell on social media. The suit named Meghan, Netflix, and other affiliated parties, accusing them of negligence and failure to warn consumers of the risks. The plaintiff claimed that after following the recipe shared in good faith, she suffered long-term damage, requiring costly medical treatment. This lawsuit landed like a bombshell. Not only was Meghan's personal brand tarnished, but Netflix was dragged into a legal battle it desperately wanted to avoid. For a company already struggling with the show's failure and negative PR, the lawsuit was a major headache and financial threat. Industry experts noted how rare and damaging it is for wellness-related content to cross into legal territory like this. The Archwell Foundation had been a key part of Meghan's public image, a way to demonstrate purpose and social impact beyond entertainment. The lawsuit threatened to undo all that goodwill in an instant. Then came the viral moment that sealed Meghan's fate in the court of public opinion: the fake tears scandal. During a series of podcast appearances meant to showcase her vulnerability and win back public favor, viewers noticed something odd. The tears looked suspiciously absent. Social media detectives zoomed in on video clips and pointed out that despite her tearful words and emotional tone, no actual tears fell. To many, it looked like a carefully crafted performance, a calculated attempt to manipulate sympathy rather than express genuine feeling. The backlash was swift and merciless. Headlines mocked the fake tears, calling Meghan out for emotional fakery. Memes and viral videos poked fun at her seemingly staged crying, turning a moment that should have humanized her into a source of ridicule. For a public already skeptical of Meghan's authenticity, this was the final straw. The fake tears controversy reinforced the narrative that she was more interested in controlling her image than truly connecting with people. Instead of sympathy, she got scorn. Behind the scenes, the story was even worse. Former staffers and aides leaked details about a toxic, high-pressure environment on and off the set. Multiple insiders reported that employees quit or were forced out due to Meghan's secretive and controlling behavior. Rumors of diva demands, privilege abuse, and ruthless management style surfaced. Sources described her as difficult and impossible to please, with a penchant for secrecy and manipulation. The public never saw this side of Meghan, but Hollywood insiders did, and they were unimpressed. This internal turmoil added layers to the public narrative of a failed comeback. The Duchess of Drama, as some media outlets dubbed her, was becoming synonymous with creative chaos and reputational damage. Finally, Meghan's highly anticipated podcast interview with Jamie Kern-Lima, co-founder of IT Cosmetics, was supposed to be a chance for damage control. Instead, it backfired spectacularly. The interview felt awkward and staged, with both women trading forced emotional moments that only raised eyebrows. Meghan name-dropped celebrities and powerful friends in a bid to boost credibility, but the effect was the opposite. It came across as desperate and inauthentic. Listeners described the episode as a show of fake honesty, a carefully choreographed performance rather than a sincere conversation. The interview did little to stem the tide of criticism and only reinforced public skepticism. So, where does that leave Meghan Markle? With a Netflix show flopping hard, a $10 million lawsuit hanging over her, toxic reports from insiders, and public backlash reaching a fever pitch, her Hollywood future looks uncertain. The story of With Love, Meghan is more than a failed TV show. It's a cautionary tale about the perils of fame without authenticity, the dangers of trying to control a narrative at all costs, and the high stakes of public trust. Will Meghan be able to rebuild? Or is this the beginning of a long, slow fall from grace? Only time will tell. But one thing's clear, this Hollywood meltdown is far from over, and the fallout is going to be messy.